You know, there's nothing like cracking that cellophane and pulling that record out. It just smells great.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Non-stop hardcore energy.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Unlike any other.
With your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Man, this stuff rocks.
Hey everyone, I'm Madeleine.
I'm Rikard. We're from Elaine, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Hour, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bodfather, and as always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a huge privilege to have Madeleine and Rikard of Eleine, and this Swedish dark symphonic metal powerhouse. Eleine will release their new album entitled "We Shall Remain" on July 14th via Atomic Fire Records. "We Shall Remain" is the follow-up to 2020's Dancing in Hell album and last year's acoustic EP, Acoustic In Hell. So, Madeleine and Rikard, how you guys doing this morning?
Hi, thanks first of all for having us, and we're doing very good.
Yeah. Doing great.
So let's jump right into this bad boy. When you think back, this band and when it came together, what was your guys' realistic expectations for it? What was your goals, and what was the first achievement that you guys wanted to accomplish?
Basically, to be able to make music, create music, and live off music, right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
How excited are you both to have your upcoming new album entitled "We Shall Remain" released on July 14th via Atomic Fire Records and be done with this and get it out, be done with it, and just move on? And did the album turn out exactly the way you guys wanted it?
Well, in my very honest and humble opinion, it turned out better. Actually, it is always a love and hate process whenever you write the music, the songwriting process. But we've been having so much to do. Meanwhile, also we've been touring nonstop since mid-October last year, and when just landing at home, we recorded this thing. So it's been like an ongoing process for a long time. It's been very intense, but it really turned out better than I expected, and I'm very happy about that. And that applies to like everything from the music videos, the artwork, not only the music, And we're very excited to release this via Atomic Fire Records.
Oh yeah,
it feels like a huge and good step in the right direction.
Hands down, our best album to date.
Yeah.
And we're of course very excited to have it finally released. Like, we've heard the songs, obviously, and can't wait to have them unleashed upon the world to all of our fans, which call themselves, by the way, the Eleine Legion, which we love. And that's also the reason, because that's also the reason for the song "We Are Legion." So I'll save that to maybe later in the interview if it tickles your fancy. But yeah, we're super excited.
That was one of my questions. Good call, Rikard. Good call. I did my homework, sir. I know what I'm doing.
It's not my first rodeo.
That's right, sir. This album was written during the pandemic. Was it difficult to have it ready to go and you just could not release it and sit on this? I mean, it had to be difficult to let it sit there and be like, look, I can't do this no more. These are owed to us. Let's just do something with it.
So, okay, Dancing in Hell was released 2020.
November
it was
2020.
Exactly, in the end tail of 2020 there. It was written, and it was written before the pandemic and recorded in, what was it, April, June, thereabout?
May. April, May, yeah.
In 2020. So it was like right on the start of the pandemic. So we recorded that. We had a set date to release it, but we were asked the question, should we release it? Because everything was shut down. Everything was bada bing, bada boom, nothing open. And we decided very quickly to release the album.
And a lot of people in the business said, oh, that is insanity. And we were like, we don't care, actually, because we felt that we want to do it. And now we understood that our fans really appreciated it. But also it was a great opportunity because we couldn't tour with it, but it sold very, very well.
It
and
did,
it was so appreciated, you know. So till that, it was our best-selling album so far. So far so good.
Yeah, and we always create what feels right to us. So what you hear is us, basically, our experiences, what we've been through, what we see and what we feel. So both Madeleine and I have had like mental health issues, and we've been down in life, depression and whatnot. So it's a lot about that. It's a lot about the empowerment within that also, to how do you find your way through, right? So a lot of people could really connect with that during the pandemic. So it was a great choice to release it then. Now, in 2021, we started to somewhat dabble with writing We Shall Remain, but we really sat down and really did the work in 2022 to write the entire album. The album We Shall Remain was recorded in January.
Yeah, in January.
This year.
Yeah, 2023.
Yeah.
So everything has been going according to plan, actually. It has, yeah.
Do you feel the album had to come out swinging for the band after this pandemic, though? Do you feel like this had to come out and make a statement and just hit people in the face with it?
Oh, no. I mean, we really, you know, we planned that, okay, the next album will be released around this date, and we have been going with it. We don't really think like that, you know, that, oh, what do people want? Because we've been doing that since the very start. As Rikard just mentioned a little bit, that we write about what we feel, what we see, and what we've experienced. And we have promised ourselves to always keep the creative freedom of create what feels right to us. We're not sitting down on the Monday being like, okay, how can we get more famous now? What is the trend? Because that wouldn't be Elaine. I mean, if you have a band, I will trust you actually knowing what the hell you're doing, that you're doing this for a reason. If your reason then is money, well, go ahead, right? But that is not our reason, right? We're very grateful that we can live from this, and we want to make this thing grow. But our main purpose is the music, is to actually make an impact and hopefully help somebody with what we have experienced. That is our goal, you know? So yeah, no, that is my point. We don't really think like that.
No, we always create with what feels right, and we always go with our gut feeling. So
if we like it, we will release it, basically.
Do you both feel that up-and-coming bands should have taken advantage to get their music out during the pandemic, like streaming live shows or doing some collabs? Because there was a lot of great live shows and collabs out there during the pandemic. Do you think they should have taken advantage of that?
Really, it was kind of what is the word I'm looking for? Like I just noticed that everyone did it, you know, so it was pretty like a bottleneck. Is that the word? Maybe being all Swedish over here.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
bottleneck. Yeah.
And so I mean, you could have, but I mean, we didn't do any live streams.
No,
because we didn't want to. You know, we kind of focused on
not with the entire band to do shows, but we do live streams and did on Twitch.
We started on Twitch instead. Yeah, exactly. And we felt that was right for us. You know? It was a pretty small period of time where it could be profitable to do the live stream things, right?
The
because
live shows,
it costs a lot. That is the thing that people need to remember. Like, hire an entire video team, you know, and set everything up. Because I mean, we got to be honest here. So many live streams that happened, and there was so many technical issues.
Oh, right? Yeah, right.
It was a period of time no one is talking about it, and we're like, oh, there were a lot of weird moments. But the thing is that you could have, but it's not for everyone.
Each to their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did follow you on Twitch, so I did follow
you. You do?
Hey.
Both of us?
I didn't follow you, Rikard. I didn't know you had one.
I do. I was the one who started.
Yeah, he started, but it's hilarious. I recommend it. So, but thank you very much for hanging out. I really hope you enjoy it. You're not like, I fucking hate it.
Hey, I'll see you on Tuesday in Madeleine's, and I'll see you next Friday on mine, all right?
Yeah, don't be a stranger, okay?
How special is it to have this album in the Eleine Music Library and still be able to carry on with your music? Because I know every album is special to each band, every one that they put out.
I really do think this one is the most important, and one of the most special ones. Actually, it is a very important album. That is the thing, you know. Like Dancing in Hell, we had been through a lot. It was really about, pushing your way through your own personal hell, whatever it might be, and come out on the other side. But this one here speaks so much about what has happened ever since. It is this very natural progression in a way, because as we said, we write about what feels right to us and life experience. So it's no wonder it might feel like it can be connected. But this album really speaks a lot about, unity, empowerment. I would say that empowerment is the strongest word to describe it, because within the album, there's also this acceptance of some things that we have been through, because without accepting what you've been through, you're never able to move along. That is the thing. That is one of the biggest lessons that I've ever learned. Like, time doesn't heal all wounds. Not all wounds are to be healed, but if you accept it, then you have something to work on. It is like with everything else, right? So it's a lot of focus on these things and the empowerment of being united. That is the thing. It is our most important album to date. It is, and one of the best ones as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did the band add anything differently on this album musically than what fans are used to hearing from Eleine?
Well, Madeleine and I write all of the music and all of the lyrics. And once again, we create what feels right. We go with the flow. And I feel that we bring new stuff to the table each time we write something new, because we go with that gut feeling. It's really, really nice. But still, you can have that special, what has become the special Eleine sound, which is weird to say now, like 4 albums in, starting out with the first and second album, you're like, it's nothing special, like in your heart, are we special? You know what I mean? And now 4 albums in, people are telling us there's a very specific sound to you.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And we're like, all right.
This album really has our sound, but we are actually, when reflecting upon it, it is heavier. It's even more like, I love a great riff. There's shitloads of great riffs on this one.
There are many riffs.
So the thing is that there's even more of the heavy riffs, maybe even catchy riffs. So it's heavier, sometimes a little darker, but not depressive. That is the thing. There's a very important difference. It's not what is the word I'm looking for? Not maybe depressive, but
melancholy.
Yes, exactly. It's a very good word. Yeah. But there was always like a glimpse of hope. Doesn't matter how deep and dark the song will be. So there's some flirting and even the groovy parts. Like we always love the groovy parts, and you can hear a lot about it in Dancing in Hell. But I actually think we took it to another step on this one. Because we really have been like landing a little bit in what we all are about, So yeah, it's groovy. I'm saying sexy. It's heavier and very empowering.
Yeah.
I listened to this last night. I got to stream it thanks to Liz, and I'm telling you, I'll listen to it. Sometimes I'll just skip through it, but I listened to this twice last night. Streamed it twice.
Oh, wow.
I was like, it's like every song was just so catchy, and it's just like I was just waiting to see what else I was going to hear. I went back to see if I heard anything else different. I was like, oh man, this is a solid album from you guys so far.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I gotta know, since you've got Rikard in here helping you with the vocals, how special is it to have him in here to bounce ideas off of, help you with the vocals, and just let him have his take and you have your take? How special is that to work together on this?
Well, I love it. We've been doing that since the first album, even if it was less, but as always, we just do it whenever it feels right. Like Blood in Their Eyes is a great example. Yeah. You only have the growling parts at the very end of the song, and there's a reason, it really reflects what the lyric says.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it has become this natural thing when we write a song, we just feel like this is pretty brutal, the lyrics are just coming about, or if it was decided to be growl from the very start, we just feel it, and I love it. I really do. It's beautiful to see that the fans actually appreciate it, because we like it.
Yeah, right.
And it's not for everyone, but I just love to see and hear that there's some that never enjoys growl in general, but they actually think it makes sense in a way in our music. And I take that as a great compliment, because I think they feel the song, a little bit more. It's not there just because, ooh, it's cool. It's like it actually says something. It makes you feel something.
Yeah. I find it funny every time someone asks us, but who does the male clean vocals? I'm like, that's awesome. It's this guy. But yeah, as Madeleine says, we do it when it feels right. For instance, Stand by the Flame, it was supposed to have a section with the deep growls. But, when when we were building up the structure of the song and we're going to go off to record it, we were like, no, it doesn't feel right. Lyrics and everything was done. So we were like, no, let's skip that.
Yep. Cut it out.
Yeah.
And there's not, and the growls are not overdone, if that makes sense. They're not everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not in every song, and I like that. It's like, okay, good. We got them in a couple here and there. That's great.
Thank you.
Adding in like a little spice. Don't just like,
Exactly. That is what I'm talking about. When you just push it in just because.
Yeah.
Because I feel that sometimes people don't know why they're doing some things, right? I mean, just please see why you're doing this, and it will all make more sense, I guess.
Same with guitar solos, right?
Yes.
Same with guitar solos. Sometimes, there are possibilities to throw in solos in every song, but does it have to be? No, definitely not. It can be like really heavy, really nice, chuggy parts.
Or another riff.
And the best thing about this is when people say, oh, there should have been a solo here. Well, my friend, record a solo and put it up on YouTube. Do it, man. Do it. Go for it. Go for it. That would be awesome. I would love to hear a great solo because I suck. But that would be fun, people to do their own interpretations of a would-be solo.
Yeah.
Come on.
I love it.
It's awesome. Go for it.
I think that's a lost art today in music. Back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, especially, you'd hear those guitar solos, and then after that they started getting away from it. It's like very rare you'd hear one, and now it's like they're coming back, and it's like it's a breath of fresh air actually to hear those guitar solos.
Yeah, and that's the thing I wanted to be also, Madeleine, also like to have it like this, like, there's a solo. Yeah, wow. And some songs don't have it. And that's because the song has so much else. It wouldn't give anything to the song. It wouldn't serve the song, really.
No, exactly. And that is what you can hear in many songs, in my opinion. You hear a guitar solo, and it's just like, just with the growls, it's just thrown in there. And, I'm very good at technique, and you're like all over the guitar. It sounds like shit, and it doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, but it's like, I'm so sick of it. I love the old school guitar solos where it's just feeling that really is like, oh, it sounds so good to this, and it serves the song. I love that. I got to give a lot of credit to, well, of course, you, Rikard. You know that I love your solos, but like Lorna Shore has very good taste as well when it comes to the actual song. A good tone, first of all. So many bad tones out there. Holy shit. But it's like, it's clean, It's not like, hey, look at me. I have an ego to fulfill in this band, It's not about that. And that to us is very important.
Oh, yeah.
If I don't feel it, it's not going to be there, right?
No, same with everything there. Yeah.
How's the fans' feedback been on this release of the new single, We Are Legion? And we're going to get in detail with this in just a second. But I want to know, what are you guys seeing back from your fans on this song so far?
Just awesome response. If I'm not mistaken, We Are Legion was the first single we released for the new upcoming album, We Shall Remain. And there's a story behind We Are Legion. So our fans, they call themselves the Eleine Legion. And they started to do that. And we were like, that's cool. That's freaking awesome. It's an honor. Yeah. And they see themselves as this legion, empowering legion, which is positive, but not naive. And just building themselves up, taking people in, like, we're a family, we're a legion, here we go. And we took that to heart. So we wanted to give our fans a song. That became We Are Legion. it is our song to them. And the first time we played it live,
and ever since, I mean,
I got goosebumps now. It was awesome.
It was mind-blowing, actually. The entire response in general has been absolutely beautiful.
Like now, when we played, we opened up for Nightwish just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, something like that.
And when we played that opening, da, 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 the audience sang along.
Yeah, it was.
And we were like, wow.
Right? It's like, now I got goosebumps.
Whoa. And that is what it's all about. The unity, the empowerment, everything about the positive. There's a Legion right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very
I
powerful.
sit here and I watch videos on YouTube of like bands playing over in UK and Sweden and places like that, like where you guys are from too. Yeah. And I see, like, I saw Blackstone Cherry playing in London, and Chris just got up and he just struck a chord, and everybody just, he didn't have to do anything. Everybody just sung, and I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
It gets me excited about music when you hear people do this. And here in the US, it happens, but not rarely. I mean, it's rarely that happens. I mean, it does, but not like overseas. I mean, my God. It's like you got your own symphony out there. It's like, we don't have to do it. We'll just let them sing and enjoy the concert. I mean, my God.
Take a seat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. and it's like, it blows my mind and it warms my heart to see all the shit that every band goes through. Mm-hmm. When they go over there to play, man, it's like, it makes it well worth every time or every hour spent working on those songs to hear everybody sing those songs back to you.
Exactly.
It is a magical feeling whenever that happens. That is nothing we ever took for granted. And when it happened the first time, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Someone has taken this to heart. Someone has listened. Someone has gained something, whether it being empowerment, inspiration, or just the feeling that you're not alone. And that is so powerful. That is so, so powerful.
So We Are Legion, was that actually why that song was the first track off this album, was to the fans to say, hey, look, we appreciate you. We are one.
Yeah.
I would say that, yeah, basically.
That, and then I fucking love the riff.
Yeah.
It's such a good riff. I am a sucker for it. Yes, yeah, it's like this, it really contains this very empowering vibe, So yes, it's for sure for the fans. And then also, hey, this is what the album will be all about, empowerment, I can even listen to it and feel like, well, this Monday might suck, but I'm going to do it, It's a nice feeling.
It's great whenever both, Madeleine has her channel on Twitch, as you know, and I have my own. And whenever we perform that song on our respective Twitch channels, the chat, we have an emote that is whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
They do that. Whoa. Like, it covers the entire screen. It's so beautiful to see. The engagement even through the internet is just, it's there, man. It's there. And that's mind-blowing. That is mind-blowing.
What's the nucleus that keeps you guys moving right along creating Eleine music? What's that nucleus for y'all that says, yeah, we still want to do this?
The fans, for sure, hands down. And it's it has been a very important outlet as well. Like, I don't like to use the word therapy in a way, because I mean, I've been seeking professional help when I wasn't able to go through my own struggles. But it's more like an outlet, that you are going through things. You have a forum to reflect. Like writing a song, it just takes a lot from you. It's a big process, and when you do the lyrics, there's so much time and space for reflection. I've learned so much, and that is why I really do think that this album is the most important that we have released so far, and the best also, because there's so many things that kind of have landed. Like, for me as a person, for Rikard as a person, for us as individuals. So yeah, it's truly what it helps me as a human being and the fans. That really is what makes me want to continue.
Definitely. I agree also. And like in the effect there also for ourselves, it makes us feel good. You know, it really does.
even if songwriting process is a love and hate.
Songwriting process
one hour you love what you have just done, and the next 5 minutes you feel like, well, I can just give up.
Remember,
it's insane.
I like one of the recordings here. I was bummed out for weeks. I was like, suck, Madeleine. Why did you even let me sing on that one? It's like it's crap. It's total crap. Yeah. And then Madeleine comes in with her flawless vocals. I'm like, yeah, all right, here we go. But now listening to it, I'm like, yeah, it's not half bad. So it's a love and hate relationship, even after the fact sometimes. But with We Are Legion, man, that was always there. Never forget. Oh, that song. Vad das alles? There are many songs on this album that are just, for us, knockouts. And we say that humbly.
Do you agree that it is the outlet for us and the fans to answer the question?
Excuse me?
The question?
Oh, yeah.
Why we want to continue? Do you agree with me?
Sure.
Yeah. I just want to check if you wanted to add something.
Oh, I can keep on talking for hours.
I know.
Yeah. Sorry, bro.
All right. It's all right.
Thank you, Madeleine, for stopping this freight train.
It's totally fine. I just noticed immediately when you actually enjoy a chat with someone, we really enjoy chatting with you. That is the thing.
I appreciate that.
Go on for hours, it's very enjoyable.
It's because he said I was beautiful in the beginning. I'm like, oh, really? Really, bro? Thank you.
Oh, I make it a conversation. I don't make it like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Was there a track for the album that totally ended up sounding different than what it was intended to? Was there one that changed possibly a lot or no?
Yeah.
Well, usually on each and every album, we've always had one like trouble song, you know, that maybe the intro is just so great and you create a verse that is like the best verse we've ever done. And then we create the chorus and then that is so good. And the verse apparently sucks all of a sudden. And, you go back and forth and maybe the chorus never feels like, this isn't right, and what is missing? And we had that on this album as well. I remember until the end, our second album, it was Another Right. What was it on Dancing in Hell? Do you remember? Like from the top of your head?
No.
No, I don't.
I think that one had less of that.
It was less.
But
now.
Oh my God! For the album We Are Legion, We Shall Remain, that is coming out July 13th. It's it was the song Stand by the Flame. It had, I think it is 16 iterations, 16 different versions. And it was like different choruses, different verses. But in the essence, it wasn't the same. The major thing that changed was actually the chorus. And I just sat down one day and I said, screw it. And I pressed record and I did that with the guitar. I did the melody with the guitar. Yeah. It felt so like Iron Maiden-y, 80s.
Like old school.
All that stuff. And just felt so right. And Madeleine and I, we were like, oh.
Yeah, it was like finally,
Can we do that, by the way? In 3, 2, 1.
What?
There first, and then look at me. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Great.
And the thing is that it was really like the choruses, they weren't bad. That is the thing. But it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And we were actually at the edge of feeling like, should we just like skip the song because it's too much of trouble, And then I just remember that this guy, just like, no, fine, let's just check it out. And I love that you did that because it really gives me this old school big feeling, if you know what I mean, in the chorus. And I'm really happy about it. Now, I haven't listened to the songs since we recorded them, in January. And now when we released Stand by the Flame, I was like, oh wow, it's better than I remember. I like how catchy and flowy it is, as at the same time as you have the sexy grooves and the nice chugging riffs. I think it's a nice combo that really flirts a lot with the old school metal that we both love.
Definitely, definitely. And
interesting.
I got to ask you, Bud, now that we've told you that one had most different variants, do you like it how it is now?
Yeah, because I don't know what the other 15 sounded like. This sounds good.
They didn't sound as good.
Trust us.
Yeah. The final
Like
product
one chorus was me farting.
No, it
No,
wasn't.
Like, into the microphone. The desperation. We need a chorus.
Yeah. Madeleine needs to make her own shirt and put them out for merch. It says, I love the riff. She needs
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
It would
I
say
love
like
myself a
hotcakes.
good riff.
the chug.
Yeah.
The chug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
I know these songs off this album are your guys' babies. I understand that. But are there any tracks standing out more to you than any right now on this album?
It
Like,
actually depends.
day to day.
Yeah, it depends on day to day.
Mm.
And if I get to choose, because we always kind of like answer differently
Yeah.
depending on the day.
Yeah.
Today, I would say Stand by the Flame,
Mm-hmm.
We're Legion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, should I take it to two?
Pick two. Pick
Oh, fine.
two. I got two.
Then I think I'm gonna go with We Are Legion and Suffering. Actually, complete contrast.
All right. I'm gonna go with Promise of Apocalypse. Promise of Apocalypse and Never Forget.
There you
Today. That is what I feel today.
Today.
Because I was shredding Never Forget like 4 or 5 times on Twitch yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was like, I love to play that song. It has so many different things that happens all the time. And it's just fun as hell to play.
Any songs that did not make this album we can see on another album, possibly an EP, or just maybe a standalone single down the road from you all?
Maybe. I mean, there are scattered pieces here and there from all over our career that we have on the computers and hard drives here and there. And it's good sometimes to check out what you got lying around, you know? So, I mean, it's a possible maybe on that.
We didn't have any like full songs that didn't make it.
No.
But we do have some really good like ideas that we that is there, but we didn't like continue because when we had these tracks, we felt like we're done.
Yeah.
That is the thing. We never want to put like with the growls and the solos and everything. We don't just push it in because if we feel this is complete, there's a dynamic that makes sense. That's it.
Yep.
I prefer a shorter album that really hits home than a long one that feels like forever, you know?
Yeah.
I do.
And then tracks get lost and whatnot. We could have farted out like another 2-3 songs easy, but that wouldn't be fair to the album.
True. Is the track listing placement important for your album releases and EP releases?
Yes. Very. There's a lot of thought behind it. It's all about the dynamics.
The dynamics and the journey within listening from start to finish.
Yes.
Does a full-length album suit Elaine better than an EP at this time on this album?
I mean, for us, we don't see it as that. I mean, a full length is a full length and an EP is an EP, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good question, though.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm glad she's there to help you because she's like your translator to, help you out. So, I'll tell you what he's saying, okay? I'll translate it for you.
Yeah.
He needs that, okay?
But it is a good question. It is. It's the thing is that this is how we work. If we know, okay, we're gonna make an album, that is what we have our mindset for, and then we create until we feel like, okay, now we're done. It makes sense to us. When we did an EP called All Shall Burn, that is what we had decided. Like, okay, we're gonna do an EP. And then we had our mindset for that. So we don't really see it in that way. I think that is what Rikard meant, that we don't see that because we don't want to exclude in any way. But this album now, timing wise and everything, to us, it just makes sense. It is time for this full length album to come out.
Yeah, we always plan ahead. And I kind of get the question more now because there are bands that release EP after EP after EP after EP. So we see EPs as an in-between full-length album thing. So
where you also can, do something that you maybe have been wanting, but it doesn't fit a full-length album, like we did on the old show Brun. We did the cover of Mein Herzbrennt of Rammstein.
Oh yeah.
And we did a symphonic version and stuff like that. It's fun. It is.
Absolutely see them as in-between album thing. Yeah.
Sure.
What's that musical growth, though, guys, that you've seen from yourselves working on this album that impresses you with the growth of Elaine's music? What's that growth that you've seen so far from each person, possibly?
Well, like, we never get comfortable in a way, I guess. Yeah, because I think that applies to everything in life. I don't like to be too comfortable. That is the thing. I can enjoy it here and now, but I'm not like, oh, I'm so complete, because I'm not, I can always learn more. I can always push myself more. And we're never afraid of taking on a great challenge. That is the thing. So I would actually say that we really push ourselves. And I mean, this guy, you've experienced him now for a bit. Yeah, and the thing is that when he is in the studio, working on a song, Rikard is programming all the drums. He creates the drums.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to sit there and listen to. It's like, okay, just 2 arms, is that enough for a guy to play? Poor Jesper. And we're just very lucky that we have such a great drummer like Jesper. He's very talented, But he, as well, has been giving challenges from this guy. So we're like pushing each other the entire time, and I kind of love that. Like, I like to push him, and then you make something that will push me. And it really makes us feel that there's always something to work hard for when it comes to the musical parts, like our actual instruments. And I love that.
And I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to giving myself slack. I don't. Since I always go with the flow moment is what I call it when creating riffs. It's I sit down. It all revolves around what it makes me feel, and that's what it should be about. That is what it's been about since I was a kid. Watching 80s and early 90s cartoons and anime and playing video games. It's not the music in itself, but what does it make you feel? What is it, how do you want to act from that? And I can express myself through riffs and music and orchestral arrangement and a drum arrangement and stuff like that. So that's what I do. Just plop, press record, and do that flow. Where does this take me?
Yeah.
Finally, I have somebody on this damn podcast that likes the 80s cartoons like I did. God almighty. There is nothing that can touch the 80s cartoons. I don't care what it is. Not even today. Transformers. Oh my God. He-Man.
You will love his streams. I appreciate you being at mine. Thank you very much. But go ahead. You will love it. He's looking at the intros and streams sometimes.
Yeah, we do that.
It's beautiful. The nostalgia, it really just kicks in. I love it.
Oh yeah.
God, I've been looking for a Batman shirt like that for years. I'm a big guy, and I just can't find them in my size. But I'm on a Manjaro shot now, and hopefully, I saw that earlier. I was going to ask you about that. So is this the Elaine cave? Is this what this is that we're in right now? That I see you all in?
Yeah, this is our HQ. This is our guitar, bass, and orchestral arrangement recording studio. This is where we stream. Madeleine streams here. I stream over there. We have rehearsals. We have storage.
The warehouse.
Yeah, warehouse.
We have a merchandise girl, Eleine. She's in the warehouse packing right now. So we have some great company today.
So
I would definitely subscribe to your Twitch channel, Rikard. I didn't know you had one, man. Honestly, I didn't know.
Hey, you're good, man. You're good. Yeah. Check it out first. I'm streaming every Friday, man. Next week it's 666 Hell on Earth. Yep, special stream. So if you got the time, you're fully welcome, my friend.
What do you both hope everyone takes away while listening to this upcoming new album, or just your music in general? What do you hope they get from it?
Well, that they will feel empowered. We really want people to have the freedom of feel whatever they feel when they hear our music. But we want people to feel something. If you hate it, well, then we've done something.
That's a feeling.
It is. Yep. Love and hate is strongest feelings, And if they are being what is the word now? Provoked.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. That is also a good feeling. It makes you feel something. What we're hoping for is, of course, that people feel empowered because that is really what the album is all about. I truly hope that a bunch of you guys listening to this, that you can take some time, listen to Suffering, read the lyrics, because it has a progression that if you have been through like depression or anything similar, I really hope that you can relate, but also understand what the lyrics are all about. It's about acceptance and understand that you actually made it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, empowerment. That is what I would say. Yeah. I really hope that they feel empowered.
Definitely. Empowerment, inspiration, and the feeling that you're not alone. And also, of course, kick-ass freaking metal mayhem, man. There's also those people who just want that. And there's loads of that also. That's what we always say. We leave that to the listener. What do you want to take from music in general? That's totally up to you. We know what we write about. We give large chunks of ourselves in our music. And if someone gets help from that, or gets inspired, or gets pumped, it's all good.
And we really want to encourage everyone that if there's something you feel listening to our new album, always feel free to reach out and tell us.
Yeah.
Always. We're everywhere. Social media.
I gotta say this too, just think about this. You guys are creating music that when you guys were little, you were listening to music as well, and it affected you all. And it made you feel like, hey, this band understands me. They're like my friends. I'm not an outcast, and people go through that. Yeah. What does it mean to you guys now, being in that seat, creating music and having people take songs that you guys have wrote and interpret it in their own way, and you made them feel like they belong? They're not an outcast. They have friends. They do need to stay here on this planet.
It is surreal. It is really surreal, and it's beautiful that you went into that subject, because we've had since the very beginning there, especially since Break Take Live.
Yeah.
It really started that we had a new fan back then. He's still with us, and he's such a big fan and super nice guy. And he came up to us. We were walking towards Sweden Rock Festival that summer, and he said that our song Break Take Live helped him so much. It took him out of drug abuse.
Oh wow.
And that was like the first really big, like, whoa, all right, this is very, very powerful. And throughout the years, there have been others, and the most recent one was in Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh.
When we were in North America just
such
recently.
A kind gentleman.
Oh, such a very kind man. And we played in Atlanta, and we had a free meet and greet after the shows where it was able to do those. And he stood in line waiting for like 20 minutes, half an hour, right? Then he comes up, he says, "I'm sorry, I don't want to take up too much of your time." And this would be corny if it wasn't true. This is why I'm telling you, this is just so powerful, and it freaking happened.
Yeah.
Comes up and says, "Your album, Dancing in Hell, it saved my life. I would not be here if it wasn't for you. I wanted to come up here and thank you personally. Jeez. You saved my life." And we could see it in his eyes. We could read it off his body, and we could hear it through his words. And we, of course, took him in like, "Hey, thank you very much. You are valuable. You're here. This means a lot to us," and everything like that, back and forth. Because, as I said before, it's large chunks. It's Madeleine and me in the songs, and it's just so powerful that he gained that strength, that specific kind of strength for him, that it saved his life, and he wanted us to know. And wow, it's hard to grasp.
It is. And see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Master of Puppets by Metallica did the same thing for me, because when my dad, and I don't care, people would probably get sick of me telling the story, but I don't care. It's something you go through, and everybody eventually will go through it. I don't care who you are. I bottled everything up and couldn't talk to nobody, because I was afraid to go to my friends, because they were like, "Oh, he's going to, woe is me," and all that shit, And that album just spoke for me. It was my anger. It was my voice. It was my taking my, anger out on everything that I could, and it released everything in me, what they were saying on that album. And without that album, just like him with you guys, I wouldn't be sitting here today doing this podcast. And that's why I do this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's why I do this podcast, because I hope someday that somebody gravitates to a band that I have on here and it can do the same for them. So why not?
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That is so powerful. It's also that very good you touched upon that also, because it is also the anger. There is a lot of thoughts in our lyrics, and anger is, of course, one of those feelings and thoughts. It's very good that you mentioned that with Master of Puppets, because I can totally relate, first off. Also, the anger outlet right there, to have someone else speak the words that you maybe not can speak out loud or haven't identified yet, and you just feel it strikes a chord with you, and it releases that otherwise pulls you down.
It felt like I was in battle, and every song on that album was battle, something battling, and that's what it felt like to me. Like I was in battle for my father, but yet I still couldn't do nothing, because it just took me out of the world for a while. You know what I'm saying? But it helped me. So
yeah.
Oh man.
Thank you very much for sharing.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell my story every chance I get to, because I think people should not hold that in. There's people here that love you. And there's many ways and many things that you can do to relieve yourself, and suicide is not one of them. No, don't do that shit, folks. Get help. You got people that love you.
Yeah.
And also, it's so very important to add, I know exactly what it can feel like when you are depressed, like deep depression. I'm sure that someone out there listening right now, you know what I'm talking about, how hard it can be to just lift up the phone and search for help. But I'm very serious saying this. If you feel like I cannot handle life anymore, I did that. I picked up the phone. It was not easy, but I did. And it helped me. It turned out completely differently than I expected from the very start. I even got a diagnosis I had no idea about, but it has really made sense for my entire life now when I have it. But I felt that I cannot handle my life anymore. I don't know how to do this. Call.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be ashamed about.
No.
I have just a few more questions. This has been a damn good interview. This has been awesome.
We agree. We're having a good time.
All right. So we're going to just focus on you, Madeleine and Rikard. Just you two personally, okay?
All right.
Now this is about Elaine, but I want to know this though. If you could write an album equivalent to your favorite band's album, which album would that be?
Oh, wow. I've been thinking about that with some particular songs from time to time, but I don't think I've ever thought about that. I have no idea. It feels so far away because we're doing our thing, and the bands I like are doing their thing. But I get the question, but it feels so.
For me, it's. I think it comes down to the perspective of an album. What is an album?
Yeah.
How does it feel? What does it do for you?
We're going too deep almost.
Well, we are kind of deep and unnecessarily deep people, like with the glasses, a little bit of, like a big pipe, sitting in a big library with books I can't read.
Yes. Yes. And saying yes and yes. That's right.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think I have a good answer for this. I'm so sorry.
I don't have a good answer.
Interesting question. Though.
Yeah, very interesting.
But I can say, like, for a song, for an example, I wish, like I've said it so many times, if there's one song that I wish that I had been writing, it is the Almede Tristan by Rammstein. So many times I felt that, if that could only have been me, I love that. That is my startup song for each day, actually. I love it. Yeah, it actually is.
Every day.
I have high functional autism. It's apparently a thing. I tend to listen to the same things when I stick to it. I just love it. But it's it's every day. But it gets my mindset on what I have to do. So I love that song. I wish that was me. So congrats to the songwriters. And
I also enjoy that song very, very much. So it's very nice.
It's also this unity thing in that song. I like it.
Every day we drive to the HQ. And it goes on.
Yeah. Watch out with the copper. No, I'm gonna give you an album because I don't feel satisfied if I don't. A Doomsday Machine with Arch Enemy.
Oh, okay.
Yes, fantastic album. Oh yeah. Yes.
Come on, Rikard.
Say Black Album.
The cartoons, Witch Doctor. No, just no. Scratch that. I have no idea. I'm lousy. I like all kinds of music. Your question is, do we want to be immensely successful? Yeah.
Then you should say
Sure.
Carolus Rex. Sabaton.
Sure, Carolus Rex, Sabaton.
Great album. Oh my god.
That's a good.
Yes.
Thank you. I thought of that. That's me. Carolus Rex by Sabaton.
Sabaton's a good band. Very good band.
Really good band.
Nice guys.
Yeah, I got to meet them at Louder in Life a couple years ago when I got to interview them, and I've interviewed those guys several times. Very, very great, humble guys.
Yeah, very.
And then I would also have Bleach by Nirvana.
Yeah,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Like
easy.
not really Nevermind, but without Bleach, there would be no Nevermind. So
That's true. That's very true. Very true.
mm-hmm.
If you both could be a member in an iconic band and play one of their legendary shows, what band would it be and what show would it be possibly?
I think I know your answer.
Yes, I'm just
Should
thinking
be
about what
Rockstar.
the show was.
Should be wrong. Fine.
Live Aid 1985 Queen.
Oh, okay.
Knew it.
Yes, that has been having a huge impact on everything that I do on stage. Yes.
I would go with one of the shows that Michael Jackson did on his Dangerous tour.
Oh wow, that Michael Jackson's never been said on here, so that's a first.
Really?
And
Speaking
Queen Live Aid, man, that's been on here. Just about every musician that's been on here, I've asked that question to. 8 out of 10 times that's been mentioned. Holy crap!
Isn't it very interesting how one
It is.
band like Queen can just make all the greatest artists during the 80s just be forgotten?
Mhm.
Like that, like that. No one even thought about Madonna or anyone else. It was like, wow, this is the thing, and that takes a lot. It does, but I mean, it was
And
powerful.
take this also to thought that during the time they were active, they heard like, you're washed out, you're done, you're crap, you're bad. And now
you can
like,
never release a song like Bohemian Rhapsody as a single. What do
Yeah,
you even
right.
think about? You
and
know, it's like,
they picked on them. They said you're done. You're bad. And as you say, like for the second right there, if you're talking about bands, band, jumping back and forth, and then you mention Queen is like,
Yep.
it's just like that for a moment, then it's just out again, and that's wow. Ooh, I get goosebumps again.
yeah, right.
It's so crazy though, and it's not just metal musicians that I have on here. It's different eras of bands that I have on here. Bluegrass, country. I've heard even little rap people talk about it. I'm going, holy crap, man! This affected not just our metal community, everybody, every style of music that's been playing. Queen is some type of part of it. And it's beautiful to see what Freddie Mercury and those guys have still left on this planet, you know, and his music is still going today, man. Still.
I know.
Yeah.
And that is like, I had a VHS tape with a concert there. I think it was 1994. No, maybe it was the History Tour. Probably the History Tour. Either one. I had a VHS and it was all wobbly because I watched it so much. And
I can just hear the
oh
sound.
my god, yeah. So that was the big inspiration for me. Yeah.
All right, Madeleine and Rikard, how can folks stay in touch with Elaine, buy this new album, everything under the name of Elaine if they want to pick up everything? How can they do that?
Well, you can, first of all, always be a little bit old school and go to Eleine.com. There is always everything you need. Everything, okay? You can follow us on social medias, but it will always be social medias. A lot of everything all the time, right? Go to Eleine.com, the latest news. You can grab the album. You can find our merchandise wherever. And Patreon, can never stress that enough. If you're able to, and if you're interested, we have a very low tier to start with where you get tons of access. That is where you can stay in touch with us on a more, like, what is the word I'm looking for?
Like a more personal level.
It is. Exactly. And we're very engaged. We love the entire thing with Patreon, and we love that we can feel that we can share a lot because we happily share. That is the thing. But it's not some things. It is not for social medias because we all know what social medias can be. But please go ahead. Yeah, it is. So go ahead, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course. If you want and can, please join our Patreon. But if you ever wonder, will they ever tour here? Please keep your eyes on Eleine.com. And I always preach a lot about bands in town. I use it myself for the bands that I love. It works flawlessly. It really does. You always get a notification when the band is coming to your city. It works super great. So Eleine.com.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And I'll have all these links in this podcast in the description. So that way nobody could say, I don't know where to go to. It's right there.
Thank you.
Weekly Entertainment on Twitch also.
And then Twitch streams. Yes. Join in. Join in.
All right. Before I let you guys go, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Of course.
Hey, everyone. I'm Madeleine.
I'm Rikard. We're from Elaine, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. Please get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link and our YouTube link, and you definitely want to subscribe to my YouTube link if you like what I'm doing, and I hope you guys and gals do. Please get out and check out Elaine. Grab this new album that's going to come out on July 14th entitled We Shall Remain off via Atomic Fire Records. Don't just get that one. Go back and check out their other stuff and give this band a fair shot, and I'm pretty sure you won't be disappointed. So, Madeleine and Rikard, thank you so much for doing this interview. This has been a blast.
Thank you. Likewise. I had a great time. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you guys, too.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.